5 minutes-ish. We're going to start our service today with a prelude played by Karen Thorpe, The Seal Lullaby by Eric Whitacre. Good morning, and welcome to the Keene Unitarian Universalist Church, or KUUC, as we like to call it. My name is Susie Erickson West, and I am the short member of our threesome of transition team with the two other tall gentlemen at my side, and we are going to be providing this service today and plan on putting you all to work. So thank you in advance. I have been a member or a friend of the church since 2005. And I have found this in this spiritual community that I've been involved with. I've participated in the music committee, in RE. I sing in the choir, and as I mentioned, I've been on the board, and as I mentioned, I'm currently part of the transition team working with Rowan Van Ness. Thank you. If you, let's see, today Minister Rowan is away from the pulpit, so we are grateful that you are here with us, the transition team, as we do this service. If you are new with us today, you are especially welcome. Please sign our guest book, which is right here on the short table at the front of the sanctuary. And please come and meet with some wonderful people at coffee hour in our parish hall, which is right across the way here. Each week, we designate an ambassador to welcome newcomers and to answer any questions you might have. And this week, our ambassador is Wynn. Win, thank you. There he is. You moved. Thank you, Win. Win is our ambassador today, and but please, if you have any questions, feel free to talk to any of us with a name tag on, because we would love to talk with you about our church and how much we enjoy being here as a community. I'd like you to take a look at the back of your order of service and take a look at the KUUC's mission statement. And it reads that the people of KUUC are committed to actively creating compassionate community and working for a fair and peaceful world. There are also upcoming events on the back page of the order of service that may be of interest to you. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't done so already. But you do not have to silence your children, because those noises are always welcome in our congregation and in our sanctuary. Once again, I say welcome, and may you find in this hour a message worth hearing and many good reasons to come back again. And now, we have our opening words. There we go.
Good morning. It's so good to have us all together this morning. Our opening words are from the Reverend Katie Romano Griffin, Associate Minister at the Cedar Lake UU Church in Bethesda, Maryland, invoking the past, present, and future. Come, let us enter this space of hope and community. Come, let us enter this space with our sorrows, our joys, our passion, compassion. Come, let us enter this space with our stories of our ancestors and for their strength and wisdom that beats in our hearts. Come into this space, present to the beloved companions who move beside us. Come into this space, mindful that together we are building a future for other generations. Come into this space and let us worship and share our stories together. And for our chalice lighting, Tina Stevens will be doing that for us. And as Tina lights that, please share the words that are in our order of service. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude and love for our community. Thanks, Tina. And please rise in body and/or in spirit to sing hymn 128. That's in the gray hymnal, For All That Is Our Life.
To
And now, let us sing our younger members of our congregation off to RE class. I will sing As You Go. As you go, make joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. And now is the time for our offering. Give what you will for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that has meant so much to those who came before you, and for the church that will mean so much to people you will never know. Give what you will, for we are give what you will, for we are a generous people. And today's offering, the collection plate at this Sunday service, will be given to the UUA Disaster Relief Fund. Checks may be written out to KUUC with disaster relief in the memo line. Thank you. And we dedicate these gifts in service to our mission to actively create compassionate community and work for a fair and peaceful world.
Stories are the underpinning of our human experience. Aside from just liking to hear a good story, psychologist Dr. Pamela Rutledge examines why stories are important, impactful, and powerful in an article entitled The Psychological Power of Storytelling. Here are a few excerpts. Stories are the primal form of communications. They are timeless links to ancient traditions, legends, archetypes, myths, and symbols. And they connect us to the larger self and to universal truths. Stories are about collaboration and connection. They transcend generations. They engage us through emotions, and they connect us to others. Through stories, we share passion, sadness, hardships, and joys. We share meaning and purpose. Stories are the common ground that allow people to communicate, overcome our defenses and our differences. Stories allow us to understand ourselves better and to find our commonality with others. Stories are how we think and make meaning of life. Stories help us explain how things work, how we make decisions, how we justify our decisions, how we persuade others, how we understand our place in the world, create our identity, and define and teach social values. Stories help provide order, familiarity, predictability, and comfort as we seek and need certainty and structure in our lives. Stories are how we are wired. Stories take place in the imagination, and in our brains, imagined experiences are processed the same way as real experiences, thereby creating genuine emotions and behavioral responses. Stories are the pathway to engage our right brain and triggering our imaginations as we become participants in the narrative, helping to see differences and to help increase our empathy for others. Through imagination, we tap into our creativity, which is the foundation of innovation, self-discovery, and change. To move forward as a strong church community, it is important that we know our history, some of our stories. What stories can you share that are part of our community? While we may not feel the full range of the psychological impacts today as we embark in telling some of our congregational stories, be mindful of the power that our shared stories may have. And our tag team event today.
So now we're going to put you all to work. Before we start, I just want to lay out a few ground rules and a few norms and explain what we're going to do. And then we'll divide you up and put you all to work. Some norms are that you're going to be discussing in small groups some stories based on the sheet that's in your order of service. And every story is important, and every story is important that it be shared. We also want to acknowledge that what is shared here today will stay here today. And for those folks watching on the YouTube channel, I apologize. We did not get the worksheet that everyone is using here today in the Friday message blast, but that will be included next Friday in the message blast. So if you missed today or if you're not attending with us in person, please feel free to answer some of those questions and send them in to us. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to break you all out into groups based on the number of years that you have been at KUUC. Now, for those of you who have been here and gone away and come back, you decide what group you want to be in. We're gonna make it easy. But the first group that we're going to have are those people who are new today or have been with us for less than a year, They will be meeting with Tom up at the head of the church, and we'll put some chairs out about that. The next group will be people who have been at KUUC for 1 to 10 years, and they will be meeting over in this quadrant with Rich, okay? In the far quadrant of the church, we will have people from 11 to 20 years, and they will be meeting over there with Tina. And over in this far quadrant over here, Lindsay will be meeting with folks who have been here 21 to 30 years. And in this front quadrant over here, I will be meeting with folks who have been here 30 or more years, okay? So when I give you the go-ahead, please get up and go to your section. Once you get to your section, I want you to break into groups of no more than 3 to 5 people, okay? Yes?
Do we want to have people bring their stuff? Since they're staying here?
Yeah, bring your stuff and you'll settle where you end up, okay? So we don't have you moving all the time, okay? So why don't we all get into those groups? And while you're all getting into the groups, I'm going to let the folks know, if we can go there quietly, people, as quietly as possible. I'm going to let the folks at home know that we're going to be discussing 1 to 2 stories that you were aware of before you arrived at KUUC, and 1 to 2 stories about your experience since you've been at KUUC, okay? And this is the 30-plus group. We're going to hang right here, right in this. I mean, basically, we're dividing the church into 4 quadrants. So we can work over in this. Yeah, over here. Okay, I'm going to go get rid of my mic so that I'm not broadcasting. Oh, we've got a lot of folks, a lot of new folks here. This is wonderful. We have Folks, we're going to ask you to start to wrap up your conversations, and we're going to move on.
Sure.
You want to do the roaming?
Yeah, I can do that. Thanks.
All right, everybody. I'm going to bring you back from your individual conversations to back as a whole, a congregation. My guess is there'll be a lot more conversation going on at coffee hour, and I hope there is. Thank you all for participating in this. And what I'd like to do now is, in each of your groups, if there is somebody who was willing or able to share not individual stories, not individual examples of stories, but some adjectives of, were there any common themes? Were there any common feelings? Some things that came out in each of your groups. Rich is here with the microphone, and he will come to you. So if we have 5 groups. If we had 5 individuals who wanted to share, that would be great. And if not, we'll move on from there too.
Is this on? Yeah,
Yep.
It is on. We have, and I think one person from each one of the small groups, right?
Yes.
So we'll have a
That's
number
true.
of
That's
number of
true.
different folks.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm wondering if maybe we'll start with my group.
Sure.
Sorry, guys. And we'll have, the new folks?
The
Do you
new
want to start
folks.
over there? Sounds good. I was going to let them listen, and then that sounds good too. All right, so we have our first person. Here we go. And hello. Maybe we'll just say your name and introduce yourself a little bit, and then the themes.
So my name is Lynn, and I was in this little group of less than a year. And the running theme was welcoming community, open-mindedness, and pretty much that was it, right? Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. All right, who's next over here?
I'm in the new group, and we are also new anyway. But I think the common theme here was finding a group of people of like minds and a group that would be supportive as we all are new in our communities. Is that a fair summation?
Thanks, Wynn. So it sounds like supportive, and welcoming. Some general themes from what was shared there. All right, so let's see. I don't know where all the group lines are here. Oh, cool.
So this was my group, and we talked about sort of where we all came from and how we ended up here, and how we're grateful to have community because we're new relatively to the community, and how nice it is to have a place to be together.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Julia. So community, togetherness, and is this a group back here? Do you have somebody who would be willing to?
We're all new. We've been coming, some people in this group are their first time here, but they're here and feeling welcome, and they jumped right in.
Wow.
Yeah, and everybody agreed that this is such a welcoming place, and we've all had histories of maybe not such welcoming places. So at any rate, yeah, we're grateful to be here and for the acceptance of whoever you are and wherever you are.
Yeah, so welcoming, acceptance, openness to each person's place on the path. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks for jumping right in. Boy, you guys picked up a good first service to attend. They're not all like this. And it is a good first service. All right. So now we'll move. So those are our newest folks who are here. And now we'll move to the 1 to 10 year folks. And is there somebody from this group up here? Who was their person in this group?
Hi, I'm Deborah. So we thought we had to get it down to 3 words. I think you said that to us at one point, but we didn't do that instruction anyway. So we're rebels. Connection, fill the need, loyalty, creative, intriguing, welcoming, respectful, comfortable, open, helping others, commitment, humor, inspiring. I get it all?
Thank you so much. All right, next group.
I'm Janet, and we were a little bit overachieving too, but not as much as you guys. You guys really did well, thank you. So it was feelings of welcoming, feelings of safety, warm and caring environment, a feeling of sanctuary, and a feeling of community. And I think part of it was, if I could add more, is a feeling of purpose, a feeling of joining in for a purpose.
Thanks. Yeah, it's amazing what comes out in the stories as you guys are talking about this. Those are all things that's the kind of community I want to belong to. Those are. It's great to hear. I guess I would say it's very heartwarming to hear that those are the themes of the stories that are being shared about this community, which is great. All right, so we're on to our next. So we're moving forward or back in time, depending on how you look at it here. The 11 to 20 year folks.
We're the wise ones. We discussed a lot of different things, and we came up with love and service is our prayer. Love is something, and service is our prayer. There used to be a quotation about that. And we felt that had a very empowering theme. And we also talked about sharing holidays at the church, because sometimes people aren't always with family, and that is such a treasured moment. And people looking at you right in the eye, and you know they are honest and they care about you. And also on the adverse side of that is the conflict that sometimes we feel when we don't agree with the people that are in our midst, and that can be a struggle.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a very real thing. Part of the work of being in a community is owning that. Thanks, Carol, for sharing that.
Well, Carol's group were the wise ones. We're the grizzled guys. Grizzled. the wiseacres? Our group, some themes that came out of things that we were aware of before we arrived at KUC. We thought of it as a church, or found that it was a church with that emphasized both head and heart. And that the impression before coming was that it was a politically active church. Political not in the sense of the political parties, but in the sense of being involved in activism in the community. Those were our impressions before we came, and when we came, some of the themes that came out of our stories are that that our experiences are that this church reinforces our personal perspective on ways to live our lives through the UU principles, and that the commitment to the UU principles is strong in this church community.
Thank you so much, Tom. Thanks. All right.
Gosh, we didn't name our group, but as you can see, we're very cool.
Our stories certainly reflected some of the same words that I've heard: acceptance, love, community, connection. But some of the other pieces that I might add is, however you understand God or spirituality is fine here, is accepted. And we celebrate our spirituality in diverse ways, through music, dance, poetry, all which are embraced by our church services, but also the communities that share our space. And being part of this church has not been separate from our lives. You know, here we've experienced losses and decisions and all those parts of lives together, and have had to negotiate them together and build our connection deeper through those.
Very well said. Thank you. Okay. Are we to the wisest group, or where do we have? Yeah, here. Oh, Lindsay's there. Are you guys in the 10 to 20 as well, or are you in the 20 to 30, right?
I was getting so freezing back here because I forgot to put on my long underwear. Oh, too much information, sorry. But anyway, so we came up with, it seemed to be the general theme, was really about connection, feeling safe, especially some of us shared stories where we haven't necessarily felt safe. And so developing that trust, I think, has become very important. All the service opportunities, but anything, that we feel passionate about, that we care about. Like, there's no expectation to take a role if you don't like it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, we're going to lose you if you do that. And then hands-on, very hands-on opportunities, shared ministry, which particularly of late has happened more and more. Each service, it seems, more people seem to be stepping up and taking on, finding their little niche. Family. This is our family. This is where we get to choose this family. And then someone at the last minute said, fun. Anybody having fun? Like, I think in the last, year or so, I've had a lot more fun than I had previous years. And for me, this is another great place to learn adulting for those things that we never learned. All of a sudden, especially being retired, there are all these new things we can try out. And what a safe place to try them out.
Thanks, Lindsay. All right. And are these more of the wisest group up here?
These are our 30-plus years of very wise, crone, wizened, yes. And I heard so many, from what was discussed amongst us, so many of the same things in each of the other groups. One of the things that I will note is that we talked a lot about families growing here as part of their world. Children, RE, the importance of RE to our lives and to our children's lives, and the safety of being here and the welcoming of being here as well.
Thanks. I just wanted to say, I want to say thank you. It was so enlivening and heartwarming to hear from so many different people in the congregation, all in one service, and to hear your voices, and to know that there was connections happening there, and that takes effort and energy on your part, more than a typical Sunday service. So thank you so much on behalf of the transition team for being willing to do that. And we have this recorded so we can go back and watch and hear the things that you guys shared as a transition team and look through those. And also we would ask that there's the basket over here when you guys leave, anything that you've written, if you're willing to, if you would leave it in the basket so that Tom and Susie and I can go through those and pull out those themes and look at how they correspond to the amount of time you've been in the community, and start to envision a little bit more about how we want to go forward and be able to share that back with you. So we'll continue. This is work that you've done now that we're going to then also continue to do more work with to help guide our path forward. So thank you for that. And are we on there?
So let's think about the stories that we've just heard, and we'll take a moment to have a silent meditation. And also reflect on these words that we found in an order of service from September of 1975, when the Reverend Harold Shelley was minister here. May the deeds we do with our hands, and the words we speak with our lips, and the thoughts that we think in our minds, and the things we feel in our hearts, be worthy at all times of the divine Spirit within us. It was a short bell. To extinguish the chalice, would Tina like to come back? And as she extinguishes the flame, let us say together the words that are printed in our order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, or community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry and share the world until we are together again. Thanks, Tina. Our closing words are a Native American proverb. Tell me the facts, and I'll learn. Tell me the truth, and I'll believe. But tell me a story, and it will live in my heart forever. Our postlude will be the choir with Karen, and we're going to sing the Sounds of Winter.
And you hear the snowflake falling.
that.